Now let's get more on this matter. The former chairman of Moshood of the council area, Abiola, joins us in the studio. Welcome to the program and thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so what was your first reaction following the president's proclamation?
Well, I indeed felt very happy, and I'm also glad to be alive when this thing is happening, because a lot of our colleagues died and so many were maimed. Some have not been able to put their life together, and for the president of this country to acknowledge the fact that an election did take place where people came out to vote en masse for a particular man and of course demonstrated their free will. And some people in the corridor of their convenience decided to annul that election and threw the whole country into chaos that led to the death of thousands of people. And Nigeria is yet to recover from that incident. Okay,
then the timing. Why do you think this is coming now, 2018, at this time?
There will always be time for everything. There is time to sow, there is time to reap, and there will always be a time for everything. The timing does not matter. The major thing that matters is the courage to go ahead to do it. A lot of people felt that the ruling class, particularly from the military echelon, that none of them would have had the guts to do it because of this quote and unquote fraternity amongst them. So if a former military head of state had the courage to be democratic enough and to speak out with the truth, I think such person should be commended. But it should not stop at that, because we had the press conference in Abiola's house today, and we also louded the call for the president and his administration to put together a committee of fact-finding to actually dig out what happened. People want to know what led to that decision, who sat to take that decision to annul the election. And of course, it's a treasonable offense against the Nigerian state and against the Nigerian people. And people died. Those people must account for their deeds. And the provision of the Constitution, particularly to treasonable offense.
So are you suggesting that not just honors should be given out at this time, but people need to be brought to book as well?
People must be brought to book, because I tell people that history has a way of repeating itself. You can see in fashion. You understand? I mean, in the 60s, the 50s, Afro was in vogue, miniskirt was in vogue, and of course in the 90s, in the 2000s, you've also seen similar things. But if there is no detriment that is put in place, such thing, when it comes back in history, particularly for the generation yet unborn, they wouldn't know how to tackle it. But if you put detriment there, if you put sanctions there, of course, a lot of people would not want to go through that path, knowing fully well what will happen to them if they venture into it. Okay. And if it did happen, those who will leave then will also know what to do.
Okay, so finally, Justin, very briefly, what does this portend for Nigeria's democracy going forward?
It portends that our democracy is mature, and we're moving very well, and the democratic system is making people account for their deeds, and it's giving some people the impetus and courage to move this country forward onto the right path.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Abiola, for joining us on the program.